J Torch and friends. It's about to go down, baby. Yeah. Round and around and around. Yeah. Oh, when love goes around, it comes around. It comes around. Can't stop it. When love goes around, oh, it comes around. Here it goes. Yeah. DJ Torch. Chair, the family's here. Voices are warm, the vibe is clear. Love, yeah. Love goes around. Ooh, DJ Torch and friends, it's about to go down. Yeah. It's about to go down. Yeah. Laughter and truth, a gentle sound. Hearts open wide when the love goes round. About to go down. Love goes around, it lifts, it flows. Love goes around and everybody knows. Love goes around from me to you. Love goes around, it always comes through. Yeah, yeah.
All right, everybody, this is DJ Torch on the 1 and 2. We're about to get this party started right now.
And friends, round and round and round it goes, love goes around. Love goes around.
That's right, everybody. This is DJ Torch on the 1 and 2, and I have a real good show for you tonight. A real good show for you tonight. Let me tell you something. It's going to get deep. I was in the YouTube streets. I ran across this video that explained everything to the point where I need to make a video just on that video. But I'm just going to play a little bit of a piece of that later on. But right now, we're going to drop straight up into the warm-up. Just want to give you kind of like a refresher about Floyd. But let me tell you, Floyd, like I cannot express anymore, is just a tip of the iceberg. This is bigger than Floyd. This is bigger than the Passport Bros. Let me tell you something. Let me break something down to you real quick. Everybody's getting pimped. Floyd is a pimp. He's legally he has been called a pimp by law enforcement. And that's important for us to understand. They are calling, traffickers, i.e., is a 2025 version of the name pimp. That's it. Let me play what I'm going to first substantiate my argument. Here we go.
Insinuating that towards me without actual evidence and proof to back up what your claims are, you need to be banned from my channel. You know, you have no place here at all.
Support of civil police officers in the state of Rio de Janeiro.
Look at that. This is from LTT. Basically, look what happened. Look at what happened to this pimp. In there with somebody, right? Basically, he's in a car with somebody who looks really young. Let's just put it that way, right? Talking this shit, saying, oh, yeah, well, you gotta, well, if you're saying that this, if you don't have anything to back up your argument, well, how about this, bro?
You need to be banned from my channel.
You need to be banned from my channel. You need to be banned from my channel.
Police officers from the state of Rio de Janeiro days. According to information from the child and adolescent.
You need to be banned from the channel.
You want to talk about evidence?
Identification card. ID card? She's ID card.
ID card.
Man, y'all, why y'all hating on me, bro? What?
Don't forget to like and subscribe here and on LTTV. I'm going to fast forward because it's all about this little girl right here. Okay. Here we go. Okay. This is why the girl's in the car with him. Aside of all the, let's just say, you know, how would we put it? Financial situations or strifes that she's going through and her age. Dude pimped her out. And what I mean is this is not that he sold her out, but he used pimp game on her to get said young girl in car. He might have used money, might have used manipulation. He's not rich because we all know his history is not having a lot of money. Let's just put it that way. She's in the car with him now. Let's play a little bit more.
Años. One. Okay. One. Okay. She's 18.
Yeah. We'll just take her word for it. We're just gonna take her word for it, right? You know. See, pimps or dudes who use pimp game, same thing. You're a pimp if you use pimp game. What they don't tell you is that this woman will say anything he wants, not what she wants to say, not necessarily the truth, but what he wants. And you bring it back to remember Megan and Tory. Tory pimped Megan to the point where she was willing to lie for Tory. That's what happened. That's why, if you're wondering why law enforcement didn't get involved in it, they know, they've seen that game in the streets all the time. They've seen that game before. Let me break it down even deeper. Break it down even deeper. Here we go.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel.
I need to bring the volume up on this a little bit more. We'll bring it all the way up. Here we go.
My name is Claudie. I am a forensic psych nurse. I have been a forensic psych nurse for half a decade now. But I've been a nurse for about 10 years now. I haven't done a video like this before.
Okay, we are going to fast forward. This young lady here is a genius. I was looking for the definition of a bottom chick. There's another name for it, right? A bottom chick. Because I needed something to explain the black women in the red pill space. And then I ran across this. And what you're looking at is a chart, of course, a psychological chart on how humans literally, how they live. But I'm going to let her explain it to you. So let me start again.
joke, which was the pimp joke, they call it, the bottom bitch theory. It took me some time, longer than I expected, to break down what he was trying to say or what I think he was trying to say. It was much more than I expected. Get into the video and I will kind of break it down. First, I'm going to go over the chart explaining section by section. The emotional spectrum, this is Maslow's hierarchy of need. So how this works is you have to complete most of each level.
So basically, this is what's going down. On the bottom here is like the lowest level of psychological existence: breathing, food, water. Physiological, I should say. SEX. So basically, the thing is this: everybody pretty much operates down here. Safety. When you get to the safety part of it, now we're looking at things that need a little bit more brain energy. You need to feel secure in your own body. You need to have some sort of, of employment, of resources, because you need employment for resources in most cases. Of morality, you start having a moral value, of family and health, and of property. That's safety, where you can basically exist. Level belonging, friendship, family, and sexual intimacy. And there's a difference from SEX and sexual intimacy. A big difference. This is basically where most red pill men are operating. They're operating on the bottom. They're not even worried about, they're not even to safety. They're not even to safety because, perfect example, a perfect example is men just like and everything like Floyd. Or like Diggs. Because they might have a couple of these things. They don't have morality. They're not really caring about their family. Otherwise, they would not do things that they do. And they're not worried about their health. I mean, Kevin Samuels definitely wasn't worried about his health. They're not worried about losing property because look at Nicki Minaj's husband. He can give a F about her property, right? He might care about his own barely. So this is where everybody's operating at the most. Women need this: sexual intimacy, friendship, and family. That's why, really, quite honestly, ladies and gentlemen, this is why relationships don't work out a lot. A lot of men are operating on the bottom too, but women primarily are really needing love and belonging. And how these men down this serious saying, so how do these men operate then? I mean, how do they, if all women need friendship, family, and sexual intimacy, how do they get up to, the level of getting these gorgeous women? It's through emulation. It's through pimp game. It's through pimp game. Do you understand what I'm saying here? It's through being pimped. This is a level where these bottom feeding men down on number 1, maybe 2, get to operate in number 3, 4, and 5. They're emulating it. They're not really looking for friendships, not with women. They're not into family. If they were, they wouldn't be promiscuous, because you know that promiscuity and families don't mix. And what I mean is this: if a man really respects his family, and what I mean is his immediate family, his wife, his daughters, his sons, and you're not going to risk that for anything. So why would you cheat? Why would you cheat to lose something at this level? family. Sexual intimacy. Why there's a big difference between that and sex is this. As you know, these men, like Floyd or like the Diggs brothers, they're operating down here. They really don't, as you've noticed, they basically are operating down here because they're willing to do this, but they're not willing to do this. They're not willing to establish a family. We know that for sure, right? They're willing to break friendships. They're cheating with or on other people's, men or women as they deem. They emulate sexual intimacy. They emulate it. It's not real. So when one of the Diggs said he wants to get married to Cardi B, as beautiful or whatever you want to say Cardi B is, as famous as she is, he is operating down here. He really does not care about her at all. Let's keep it going. Here we go.
Level to move up to the next level on the pyramid.
Level of control here. These are the body senses. This is level of susceptibility to misleading information. And level of curiosity here in the blue. Knowledge / truths in the pink here. Knowledge to me is knowing actual truth.
Okay. So she just said knowledge to me is knowing actual truth. So basically she is showing you, it looks like a chart, but it's pimp game. She is showing you how pimp game works. So get this. Manosphere men are pimping manosphere men and women. Manosphere women are technically bottom women. I don't want to say the word. Let's call them, we'll call them bottom women for now, bottom girls. But it's really BISH, if you know what I mean. Okay? That's the pimp game. So basically what's going on is this. Everybody in some way, shape, or form is being pimped, except for the people that are, like, let's say the channel holders. The channel holders, they are the ones that are doing the pimping. Here's the big difference. Passport bro channels don't make money. Manosphere channels, however, do. And what I mean by money, I know a lot of dudes are like cussing me out, saying stuff like, oh, mama, I just made this money. No, not the kind of money that, Pimp Samuels was making or Pimp Anton Daniels was making. I'm going to show you how they're pimping because they all like about to hit that button, right? But after I break it down to you fellas, you'll know that I'm right. Y'all are running game to make your money. And what happens is those guys, your customers, your subscribers are taking that money, taking that gain, and they're giving you money. They're giving, because you're giving them coaching. You're giving them coaching to pimp game. How many times have you told your men, you guys have to step it up? You need to be good men. You need to be caring and loving. No, that's a simp, isn't it? When in actual reality, that's not a simp. That's just how men are supposed to operate. Let's go further. Here we go.
Undisputable truth. This is lack of truths down here in the gray. I did create a glossary of words because I haven't seen this theory or explanation done before. So I actually literally had to come up with it myself. I just was shocked at how much he was saying in that little joke. I'm going to go over some definitions here.
Here are some definitions. The first one is positive emotional transfer, and the second one is negative emotional transfer.
So how does a pimp work? Well, I'm not going to go into the full game because we're not here for pimp game tonight. But what I'm saying is this. A lot of men use pimp game on women. You're not honest with your feelings. You're not honest with your intentions. You're working your pimp game. If you've noticed, if you go, and I'm sorry, if you're in the red pill, that's just where you at. And how you know that is this. If you really cared about somebody, really ask yourself this. Would you really be doing what you do to who you're with? Let's break down something right now.
Teresa, at the beginning of the show, I played a soundbite from Maria Farmer, as you know, another Epstein survivor. And she said in the clip that we showed, she's never met a more predatory human being in her entire life than Ghislaine Maxwell. One, do you agree with that characterization? And two, how does it make you feel to know that the number 2 person in the Justice Department just spent 2 days alone with her, talking to her about the case, and now all the talk is about, well, what's going to come of it? Could a pardon come from those conversations?
I can say my experience with Ghislaine Maxwell. So what's interesting about what Maria has stated about her, I agree with that. And here is why. She did not present herself as evil and as a monster. And
let me pause right here for 1 second. Evil and a monster. Basically, he's the pimp. She's the bottom bish. Okay, that's what's going down. It's just that at a very elaborate and extreme level.
And as someone that's going to put my life or my well-being in harm's way, she came at me with politeness, with openness, with friendliness, with making emotional connections with me, with the ability then to build this trust with me within hours. So her presence and her approach to me was so meticulously calculated that her intention behind all of this, I would even say, beautiful humanitarian woman to woman interaction, it was all to fool me. It was all to get me.
She got pimped. Or bottomed in this case. She got pimped. That's the essence of pimp. Listen more.
To think one thing and believe that I was in as I said, a safe and healthy environment, when actually she was setting me up to then go into tragedy. When I'm contemplating and learning and listening about potential deals being stricken or released from prison, what comes to mind a few times already is, are we actually going to have another sweetheart deal? I don't feel good about it.
So basically, Ghislaine Maxwell, what is the equivalent in the Black manosphere? Who would be people that emulate her in the Black manosphere? One, ironically, would be just Pearly Things, who happens to be white. But these men are so weak, they'll pick a white woman to lead them anyway. And who else? How about this woman right here?
This is why I support the passport bro movement, because this is how your women treat you. Even when you go try and save the community, black men, this is how they treat men who save the community. Let us touch on that one real quick. When they're trying to talk about black men save your community, clean up the community, pick up all these baby mamas and their long titties, this is how they treat you. They get on podcasts and laugh at you and say, haha, I knew he was a simp because he's.
Yeah, she's talking to you. She inspired men like Floyd to do what they're doing. She is a part of what is really the opposite of the Matrix. The red pill, really, if you really know the true meaning of the Matrix, red pill is the opposite of that. In the Matrix, they try to pimp you in the Matrix to make you believe you're seeing and feeling a certain way that you may not, and that you're seeing and believing that that bad actors are actually good. Like, basically like the police officers in the Matrix. They were really monsters, really. But in real life, I mean, to somebody who's in the Matrix, you believe they're the good guys. So for whatever the reason, this young lady who got the opportunity to come here off the backs of other black women that voted for her to come here has decided to work against them. But she gets something out of it. She gets to pimp all these men in her chat. She gets to pimp them all and make her money at the expense of society. So listen to this. Actually, it's funny to me because really, quite honestly, she's explaining to you what she is.
Black men, this is how they treat men who save the community. Let us touch on that one real quick. When they're trying to talk about black men save your community, clean up the community, pick up all these baby mamas and their long titties, this is how they treat you. They get on.
When I came in there to your show that time about two years ago, where you knew where I was coming from. You knew, Chantel, I was coming from well, why should these men go abroad when they need to be better people? I believe we both can agree that was what my argument was. What did you do? What did you do? You talked shit. You laughed. You made fun of me. You called me the PP Patrol. Remember? Because you thought that whatever Austin Holloman was doing was just fine, was just cool. This was prior, by the way, to him being kicked out of Brazil. So instead of you going, you know something, DG, I don't agree with everything you said, but I can understand where you're coming from. Instead of you being a mature individual and saying something like that and really being somebody who benefits the community yourself, you promoted promiscuity. Why are you trying to make this? Why are you being a patrol of this man's pee-pee? Remember, you made all those jokes. And then the creeps started coming in. Oh man, the creeps started coming in. You know, remember Game Changer? He made some, you went over to a little thing and you went over to his fucking live stream and you supported him too. Oh yeah. While they were just like, he was making fun of a person who literally meant well. I came on to your show, right? I came on to your show with good intentions on telling these men there's a better way to live. And you went straight up Ghislaine Maxwell. You were literally the manosphere's bottom trick. That was some crazy ass shit. You literally made fun of somebody for wanting more from and for those men. And more from Austin. So what happened to Austin after that? Would you like to tell me what happened to Austin after that? Let me see if I have what happened to Austin after that in my mix here. Where is it? Here we go. This is what happened to Austin. He had to get somebody else. He had to get another bottom trick. Here we go.
Let's get back to this. Okay, let's get back to this.
Nope, that's not it. This is it.
All of age, and they all need to be.
This is what happened after. This is what happened after I went and got what would you call it? Roasted on Chantel's channel. Then this woman shows up. SB Love. Listen to what she says. You listen to what she's telling this young lady. Instead of telling these young ladies, yeah, Austin, you're being instead of giving Austin good advice like, Austin, look, you're doing a little bit too much. You really should chill out, Austin. Brazil could get hot. She didn't even I gave you that advice, bro. I gave you that advice. But what did you, and look where you at now. You can't even go there. Let's listen to this part right here. Here we go.
They're all of age, and they all need to be held accountable for what they decide to do.
Let me play it again.
Sierra, the women that he's dating or spending time with, they're all of age, and they all need to be held accountable for what they decide to do.
Well, we hope so. We can't say for sure. And you can't say either. That's the funny thing. You weren't there with him. You're not his son. That's the funny thing. She has it's funny because SB Love, she has this mystique of being church going and moral and everything like that. But she's literally supporting one of the most promiscuous men on YouTube. Literally. I mean, I can safely say that by his own testimony. And we'll get to that in a minute.
Let's don't miss that. Even the ones in the U.S., if we decide to give ourselves to men, then we just decide to do so. And we have to be accountable for that. So we can't hold this man responsible for that part.
Right.
But again, we're talking about me. I'm talking about adding value back into women and us making different decisions. So maybe that should be a different conversation to the women that are involving themselves instead of asking him, why is he doing this? But I'm going to let Austin go ahead and answer that question from his.
Let me pause right here. What they were trying to do in this video was get him back into Brazil. That's what this video was for, if you don't know.
Point of view.
So I want to say, number one, I'm not a tourist. I'm not going back to the United States. So I'm not pushing any sort of tourism. If you've watched enough of my videos, you hear me say leave the United States permanently. So I'm not encouraging men to go sleep with some gringo hunter for 5 days and then go back. So that's not even what my channel is about.
Listen closely.
Number one, the most obvious benefit of being in Brazil dating versus the United States is women do not hesitate coming back home with you. It is unbelievably easier to get. If you're in Brazil and you have not had intercourse in a long time, I'm sorry to tell you as a man, that's more than likely your fault. It's got to be something wrong with you. The women here do not weaponize it against you like they would in the States. Meanwhile, in the States, y'all have blue balls and y'all are over here, offing yourselves and depressed, doing school massacres. And that could all be more than likely if dudes would get what they wanted, that could be different. But sorry to tell you, out in the States, you're not. But in Brazil, it's not a problem. It's not a problem. That's number one.
That was interesting. Let's go on.
I think I'm leading by example. I'm not going back.
Okay, I understand. Now, you stay in certain amount of days in Thailand and then going to Philippines and then going to another country. So that's tourism.
Got him. Got him.
She's right, bro. She's right.
Okay. I mean, expats is someone that stays for a longer period of time and works in a place. That's the way I see it. As I work.
Yeah, that place was Brazil. And if you go look at my community posts, I was still living in Brazil, and I was going to bring content from at least 11 countries while I still had a place in Brazil. But since this happened, now I'm just going to jump around and do content. And then whenever I get through going to my places, then I'll find somewhere to live again. Because I wanted to live in Brazil.
So basically, as you can see, he's taking no ownership at all of his behavior in Brazil, which, I mean, you can see why this is why these men are going abroad, because they want to be doing exactly what he advertised you could do. So I'm glad we got that part clear. Let me go forward. I got Mo for you. I got Mo. I mean, look, I'm a DJ. I like to mix records. So now I'm a VJ, a video jock. Let's go. Let's get down. Let's get down. Let's go to Danica.
So let's talk about it. There's been so much talk all around social media regarding men going overseas to find love and relationships and happiness with women. And while that could be the initial thing that is sparking a lot of men to travel and go overseas, it's not the end all be all. And I feel like we need to be a lot more genuine with the conversation regarding men going overseas instead of trying to dumb it down and water it down into being only about a bunch of incels or men that are socially awkward and out of place, not being able to find women or love.
Look, even the passport bros themselves say men like Floyd are awkward, okay? And the problem is what you get is a lot of awkward men telling each other they're awkward. So I think the awkward thing is a strong argument to make.
As a matter of fact, a lot of the men that I see that are traveling and going overseas, especially on my platform, are not the unaccomplished, unattractive incel men that have a very difficult time getting.
Yes, they are. That's basically, look, normal men with even a little bit of wherewithal, they don't even have to be rich. They don't need the manosphere. They don't need red pill. They're getting women just fine. All they have to be is just functionally stable. You know, that's what's so sad is it's like, it's not about me trying to diss y'all's channel. You have to understand a man who is attractive to women doesn't need you. They don't need the red pill. Whether it's because of the way they look or the way they carry themselves, they don't need you. Why would they be on your channel? That's time they could be these men could be doing either on a date with a real human being and not you, They could be out doing something worthwhile, like a sport or a hobby. They're out doing real shit. That's why you guys end up with only the misfits from our society. That's where they come from. Shout out to New Dawn, Henry, and Miss Alto in the house. Good seeing you. That's the issue. So basically, again, she's a bottom. She is defined as a bottom. Anton Daniels would be like the pimp. And then somebody like Danica and Chantel, they are bottoms. They are to keep the women in check. That's why they're just so disrespectful towards women. They need to keep you in check. That's how they do it. After the pimp gets done beating up on you, he sends you to the bottom.
Getting women. Oh no. Getting women is not the issue. It's getting the quality of women that they are looking for that is the issue.
And that is about as ironic as it can be, because as you've seen in several shows, I have made it clear. Let me show you the quality of women they get, in fact. She brings up a good argument. Let me show you my retort to the quality of women that these men get abroad. Let me show you it right now.
Adiós. Vaya preso por caridad voy por Adiós. 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 Bye. Bye, amigo. Bye. Are you still? Adiós. Come on, my nigga. My nigga. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Watch out, bro. Don't touch me.
Are these supposed to be the women that, as Chantel would put it, have unused womb? I mean, let's keep it going. I mean, you guys probably.
Listen,
Danica.
Don't end up in a Mexican jail.
Danica.
It's not that important. Your life is worth more, bro. Don't do it.
Is this the quality of women you were talking about? Is this the quality of women you were talking about? By the way, if you want me to clarify, because they're just kind of like jibber jabbering, right? So let me clarify what's going on here. There was a dispute on price. There was a dispute on price. Damn, I'm laughing so hard. Shit. Okay. There was a dispute on price. And thank you for this clip, Razor, by the way. Basically, what was the price on? But no, it couldn't have been prostitute. No, it couldn't have been that. It couldn't have been that, because they're looking for love. They're not, these women aren't about that. I mean, they're about getting paid. They're about getting paid. They're about getting paid. Man, so let me get back over to OD. I mean, let's get back over there, Let's get back over there. Yeah, it's all about them 1099s, right? So
let's talk about it. There's been so much talk all around social media regarding men going overseas to find love and relationships and happiness with women.
Yeah. That show looked like love and relationships to me going on. That show looked like love and relationships going on to me. Let me see if I have another example of love and relationships. Now I got to save that one for later. That's going to be good. So yeah, shout out to Mimi in the house. Yeah, so what's this love and relationships thing? I mean, let's let me tap into that one more time. Hold on one second.
Adiós.
Vaya preso porque ahorita voy por tu
He is so happy those women are there, and he's getting so much love from them that he's telling them to leave. That's what the word. Yeah, yeah, they're having such a, you know something. You're right. You're right, Danica. I mean, that man looks like he is having such a good old time. He looks like, you know, he's just having a ball. Indiana mom in the house. He looks like he's having a ball. He is like, look, he looks like he's having a good old time. Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. Women with unused booms. Yeah, I see that. I can see why these guys went, flew for 14 hours or whatever to get over there. Yeah, now it's starting to make sense to me. My bad. I mean, look, I got to give the Crimson Cure. I got to give her some time too. Here we go, Crimson. No.
Vitality. Where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow.
All right. Let's get going.
Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your host, femininity coach, and author of the Crimson Cure. And this is my perspective. So
tell you
what we talking about? Y'all hyenas out here that's getting mad at the passport bros.
Oh man, she went out and called black women hyenas. What a nice woman. That's how bottom chicks work though. They're trying to get your mind. They're trying to get your mind right for their pimps. Yeah. Don't worry, I got Anton on tap. Let's listen to her, how she's really respectfully talking to black women about passport bros. Let's go.
You can't compete with them. We're starting to see an uptick of black women wanting to compete now with passport bros. We can get our passports too, and I got a real quick clip to share with y'all, and then we're gonna come back and cook. So
yeah. So she's supporting passport bros. She's supporting passport bros. Good for Crimson. Let's play Kevin's clip. Here we go.
I'm just wondering because
It's going to get very interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go on. This is going to get very interesting. You are going to find this weird. This is one of the Kevin Samuels videos they might have pulled down because it gets really creepy, and you need to really listen to what his ultimate message is. Remember, this is a man who got divorced. Okay. So he's not exactly hitting on all cylinders. Why other men chose Kevin Samuels to be the leader of relationships for them is beyond me. But let's go ahead and let's show you what grooming looks like. Here we go.
I would say it's going to be extremely difficult. But what I would suggest is women who actually think about it from the man's side, understanding that my child today is a liability because it costs.
Now check out this pimp game. Here we go. He's
number one.
Let's let Kevin, let's let him cook. Here we go.
Is she well-mannered, well-behaved, smart, taken care? Does she understand? And do I really believe that you're going to come second to my husband? Is my husband going to come first?
Or notice he's saying telling literally women to prioritize the husband over her own existing daughter or, or daughter or son. Anyway, let's keep it going. Here we go.
We're a package deal. If you're a package deal, that's no deal. I'll be honest, it's a package deal, that's no deal, because let's say you and I were to get married, you got a daughter, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say we have 2 kids together. Mm-hmm. And your child is
okay. Listen closely. This is very important.
5.
This is how a pimp works. Listen to this game right here. Oh man. See, Kevin was a car salesman, I believe. So he's using some of that expertise along with the pimp game. Listen to this.
So 10 years from now, your daughter comes home and said, Kevin touched me, looked at me getting out of the shower.
That is weird. That is weird. Let me go back on that.
Think about it from the man's side, understanding that my child today is a liability because it costs. So number one, is she will?
First thing is this: he's framing children as a liability and cost. And really, quite honestly, they're not supposed to be framed like that. But he does it anyway. He's literally teaching men how to teach women or how to coerce women into thinking that their children are liabilities or costs, like as if you're buying property.
Man, well behaved, smart, taking care. Does she understand? And do I really believe that you're going to come second to my husband? Mm-hmm. Is my husband going to come first? Or is it we're a package deal? If you're a package deal, that's no deal.
See, the funny thing is this is a lot of people want to make it appear, especially in the manosphere, that women kicked men out of the house, when really, in its ultimate simplicity, that is totally impossible. A woman cannot kick a man out of his own house. Do you see where I'm going with this? If the man was functional, making his own money, was buying his own house or renting his own apartment, a woman cannot kick you out. You have to be it has to be the other way around. What you're telling me by admission, manosphere, is that these men freeloaded on the women, got these women pregnant, stayed at these women's house, and the women kicked them out because either the men were cheating, abusive, irresponsible, or non-functional as a normal human being, which you guys want to call, strangely enough, a bad excuse. Let me keep it going. Here we go.
I'll be honest, it's a package deal, that's no deal, because let's say you and I were to get married, you got a daughter, right? Mm-hmm. And let's say we have 2 kids together. Mm-hmm. And your child is 5. So 10 years from now, your daughter comes home and said, Kevin touched me, looked at me getting out of the shower.
Did you see her eyes open up like, what the heck? Just in case you didn't catch it, he said this: Kevin touched me, looked at me getting out of the shower, to this young lady's hypothetical 15-year-old daughter. That is a very strange hypothetical delivery coming from a man who was divorced for who knows what. The only thing we know right now is that his daughter did not give him rave reviews. So basically it's like this. As you heard, what do you think other men hearing their God, Kevin Samuels, kick out this hypothetical theory? Men are going to start thinking that it's okay, because they already do it, by the way, to have access to their wife's or another woman's child. Now you see where we got men like Floyd from. Because they got this information from men that they saw as gods that use pimp game as their heroes. Let's go over the age of consent.
Hello, everyone. It's disgusting to me to talk about it, but I have to give you some explains. And after this video, you can do your own researches. Well, let me explain about the
Shout out to Miss Alto in the house, Act Natural in the house. Here we go.
law of consent. Okay. Probably you heard about it, but maybe you don't understand so well how this law works in Brazil. And it's very, very, very complicated. But I will explain.
Really, it's not.
Hopefully, you can understand. Our law of consent works like that. Teenagers between 14 and 18 years old, they are free to date and have sex if they want. Okay? If they want.
If they want.
If you force to have a sex with them, it's a crime. If you offer them money to have a sex, it's a crime. If you try to take them for a travel or go anywhere without your parents, their parents' permission, it's a crime. If you film them while you're having sex and try to sell it, and they don't know they're being filmed, it's a crime. Have a lot of things that you can't do. You can't force anyone to have sex with you. You can't offer money, advantage, nothing. Nothing. You can't.
Floyd, I guess you didn't listen to this, or you didn't read laws.
Say Brazilian women are easy on social media.
Austin, I played that clip earlier.
No, you can't. We women in Brazil, we decide when we want to have sex with somebody else. We decide who will have our permission to have sex with us. You can't force a woman to stay with you in Brazil. This is a crime. This is abusive, sexual abusive. No. You have to understand that. Or
so basically, I think that breaks it down. So you can see why right now a lot of passport bros who listen to this video or should really already know, they're sweating bullets now. They're sweating bullets because most of these men are over 30. So when they're playing around with 17-year-olds and thinking that the age of consent, they're good, no. You're basically, no. You're in trouble. Darwin has something to add, though. I'm gonna allow him to promote Passport Bros. Let's see what he says. Here we go.
Yo,
The very system they use to convince passport bros that it's a bad idea to bring their significant other into the United States just handed them the ultimate weapon. The passport bros just receive an insane advantage, which means they will win in every single dating market on the planet. 4 decades, you had to hide your foreign wife from the West, afraid she'd get infected by feminism the moment you brought her into America. But as of August the 1st, that fear is dead because now the US government has quietly activated something I call the extradite filter, and it changes everything. And I'm
basically, he's saying that Trump put into action this law that if you bring a woman from abroad, you know, because you want somebody you can control, she cannot divorce you. She would have to go back where she came from if she did. Because a lot of what happens is that this is what happens really, and what Darwin won't tell you, is these men go over across abroad to not find a match. They find somebody to control. They drag them back over here thinking that they're going to get a slave for the remainder of their male life. And then the woman would have to put up with it or get a divorce. And then women would get a divorce and would just go on their merry way in the United States. What Trump is doing now is saying that, well, if you get divorced, you have to go back where you came from. And what's funny is I don't even know why he's bringing it up, because really these men only get women for, they get what they get. They get what they want to get across, the water and then come back, which is, sex. That's all they want. Let's keep going.
And I'm about to break this down in this video right now.
Yeah, only sociopaths and narcissists would be interested in this law, by the way.
Just show you why passport bros just got overpowered and how anyone who can get a passport can benefit from this movement. Guys, most men don't understand what just happened. There was a huge policy update by Donald Trump, and it wasn't just about immigration. It was about leverage. Because for the first time in decades...
And boom, let me stop it right there. That's a very important word. He said the word leverage. He sees relationships as a situation where you need to have leverage. That is a very, very unemotional aspect that these men are in. The only people who use words like leverage as it pertains to a relationship are narcissists, sociopaths, and psychopaths. So for this to pique his interest, I'm not saying he's one of those. I'm just saying those are the kind of people that would use this language. But it's funny to me because men don't care. The only reason a man would go across the water, grab somebody, and come back is for control.
The girl you bring back to the United States can't just flip the switch, get westernized, and walk off with half of your life. As of August 1st, 2025, she either plays her role or her ass gonna get deported. No.
Wow. See, what I love about this is that their language is so exposing. The fact that he's using, she better play her role or her ass gets deported. Does that sound like something a loving man would say to women? No, he has, in my opinion, he has no soul. And I don't mean like R&B soul music either. These are men that are working off of a pimpulation. They are thinking like pimps. They are thinking like pimps because pimps want control. Pimps want women to play their role. Let's keep it going. Here we go.
No one is talking about this yet. So let me just break down exactly what just dropped and why I call it the extradite filter. On August 1st, 2025, the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services dropped a quiet bomb. A new policy update now makes one thing clear.
Here's the funny thing. This doesn't apply to black men. Angela Reddick in the house. Doesn't apply to black men. They didn't write this for black men. They wrote this law for white men. But see, black men, black manosphere thinking men are so obsessed with control, a woman playing her role or getting bounced, that they feel this is why they voted for Trump. This is why those dudes, because they thought they were going to get control. And they were willing to give away control to other races of men to get that control over black women. That's what happened. So they're willing to go back to Jim Crow laws and laws that get them picked up on the street illegally to control black women. That's what it's for. But let's see what Anton has to say. Here we go.
Black Man Travels, Passport Bro, Aaron. I was not familiar.
Now this is 2 years old.
All with the Passport Bros until I got on the internet.
Now this is very exposing because now he's playing a different tune now. In fact, he's got Passport Bros mad at him. But I can tell you one thing right now, Passport Bros. He's just faking the funk right now because y'all the same. Red Pill and Passport Bros, basically you're the same genre. You're the same mindset. You're the same ideology. It's just Red Pill are men is the larger group, and Passport Bros are a group inside of that group where you guys specialize on controlling women outside the U.S. and doing your pimp game outside the U.S. While Anton teaches men inside and, of course, outside the U.S. because you guys like what he's talking about, to pimp women inside the U.S. Let me keep it going. Here we go.
Right. And even when I was on the internet, because I was in certain spaces and the type of content that was feeding my algorithm, I was not familiar. And thank y'all for the super chats. I'm going to continue to read them throughout the show. Thank y'all for everybody that held me down. I was not familiar with Passport Bros. Now, one person that's been going in on the Passport Bros is Cynthia G. We'll get to her shortly. She has some unkind words to say.
Yeah, you know something? Let's get to those words right now, though, Anton. We'll come back to you. Here we go.
Becoming viable mates, they prefer to go.
Let's get to it right now. Why wait? Let's get to them right now. Here we go.
Split. Maybe 10% might date outside, 90% only go for black men. So that means we already know your hand. So we already know, you need this, you need that, you need blah, 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 blah. But actually, you're only going to date me. So me existing, I'm already good enough, not realistically, but I mean, as in you're only going to select from me. And there's no real way I'm going to lose you because you're not going to look anywhere else.
Hey guys, so I want to come on here and talk about the truth and the reality of the Passport Bros. And the reason I wanted to do this video is because I get a lot of content sent to me regarding the Passport Bros taking major L's and other groups of men commenting on the
major L's. Let me break it down like this. If you're getting arrested, by police, that's a major L.
Passport Bros, because there is this narrative being pushed. And listen, I want to say a sidebar. This movement is not new. It is simply just gaining traction. And the reason it's gaining traction, I believe, is because it's going to be the catalyst to exposing who these bandits really are and drawing a wedge between them and all other people on the planet. And they're doing it to themselves. I believe this is part of the black male reckoning. We're in one of the final stages of it. And unfortunately for them, they lack foresight. So they are incapable of seeing where this movement is leading to. But this isn't a new movement. They've been talking about getting their raggedy passports and going to other countries to get these so-called submissive traditional women since I came to YouTube. And what I've noticed is since I came to YouTube and since this has become a movement, their marriage rate hasn't increased. We haven't seen an influx of these bandits bringing these foreign women over to this country and marrying them and building families. So the reality is what they're trying to tell you they're doing and what they're actually doing is in contradiction. And that's because you're dealing with the pathology of some bandits who are walking contradictions.
Right. They're not going over to these places to find a woman and bring her home. That's why it was really funny that Darwin brought up that exciting video about the new laws, because it doesn't apply to like 98% of passport bros at all. They're going over to these places because they know the laws are a little bit looser when it comes to prostitution. That's basically it.
I'll say one thing, but you can see in their behavior something different, except when it comes to how they feel about the womb that gives birth to them. This is the only thing that they are consistent in. And when I say they are consistent, I mean their words and their behaviors are in alignment. They talk about how they devalue the women they come from, and they show how they devalue them. They talk about how they don't value marrying Black women, and they show how they don't value marrying them by not marrying them. They talk about how they don't value their children, and they have a very high rate of abandoning their children. So clearly the words and actions are in alignment when it comes to Black women. However, when it comes to what they are getting from other groups of women and why they're getting their passports and going to other countries, this is where the contradiction is. Because you have these men sitting up here talking about they want these traditional, feminine, fit, and friendly women who that they can marry and turn into wives, while they simultaneously talk about how there's no benefit to getting married and how they don't want to get married. Yeah. When they talk about going overseas to get these women, they want women who are powerless. They can call it traditional as much as they want to, but the reality is they want women who lack autonomy. They want women who don't have a lot of options.
I.e., if she doesn't get on your plan, they can kick them out of the United States, from what Darwin was saying. You see how it works?
They want women who are severely disenfranchised. They want women who they believe have been reared to worship men, not understanding that these women's submission is incentivized. It doesn't matter what the perception of a bandit is. He can sit up and talk about how these women respond to their men, but these banders don't live up to any standard of manhood. So the reality is you can talk about the response from the women, but if you're not engaging with them in the manner that the men are and incentivizing their submission and cooperation, then you really have no argument. But not.
So let's go back over to what Anton was talking about.
Black Man Travels, Passport Bro, Aaron. I want to bring somebody up here that can probably better have a conversation to give us real insight, because it's one thing to listen to Cynthia G, right? And it's another thing to see all of the
Notice now how he's trying to dog out Cynthia G. Notice this, because it becomes very important in the next couple of minutes.
Wild, crazy stories that's happening across the internet that highlight the bad of what happens, or these dudes are dusty and all of this other type of stuff. I want to get some insight from somebody that may be able to give me a better view into what it really means to be a passport bro. What's going on, my friend? How you doing?
I'm doing great, brother. How are you? Thanks for having me on.
I'm chilling, man. Listen, bro, I'm happy to have you. Hopefully you can give me a lot more insight than whatever it is being highlighted on TikTok and Instagram.
Let me just tell you, this is 2 years old. I want to make sure, because I want to show you his switcheroo. I'm going to show you how he switches up on people. Here we go.
And more importantly, YouTube. Right. I'm definitely going to be reading super chats throughout the show. Shout out to my dog Logic is in the building. Where are you currently located at, my friend?
I'm in Thailand right now.
You in Thailand?
Yeah, Thailand has the highest everything. Highest prostitution, highest lady boys, highest HIV, highest, name it, you can get it, except for and maybe the highest wives, who knows? So let's go.
Yes, sir. I've been living here for close to a year now. It'll be a year, and maybe next week it'll be a year.
Wow. Okay. So what made you head over to Thailand in the first place?
Well, I've been living overseas for 3 years now. I left America in 2019, and I moved to Colombia for about a year. Then after that, I moved to Brazil for almost close to a year. Then from Brazil, I came straight here to Thailand. I'll be about a year. So, I like to travel. I've been to about 9 countries so far, but Thailand is a very easygoing and very safe place and cost-efficient place as well. We're forming like a expat community out here. So a lot of brothers out here. Shout out to Zoom to Thailand. And
Zoom to Thailand.
YouTubers out here. So yeah, man, just loving living overseas, bro. Just love living overseas, and I appreciate you having me on because when I initially, started this, passport, bro. I don't like to say movement, but I would just say a community of guys who like to travel and have similar.
So he's bringing. Let me stop that right there. So basically, he's bringing up some guys, passport bros, and everything. And as you can see, he has kind of like a positive note, right? It's kind of like he's big upping. This pimp right here is big upping another pimp, a passport bro pimp, and they having a good old time. Here's Anton's situation now.
Got it. 2 Urkels beefing with each other. 2 Urkels, and you know what's crazy? Both of them niggas is from Detroit, bro. Oh man, like, nah, I can't listen. Shout out to Detroit, man. What up? Shout out to the D, man. Shout out to the 313, man. What up, though? But y'all know these niggas are some cornballs, man. Let's just keep it G.
Yeah, let me pause it right there for 1 second. Hold on 1 second. If my volume is good, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. This is perfect.
At some point, somebody got to give you some real insight and information about who you are. You's a hoe, and the real dude ain't in you.
Okay, just so you don't see it, this is now what he's saying. Remember, I just played that 2-year-old video, right? Now this is what he's saying. I never met a cool passport bro. People can look it up. Well, I just looked it up. I told you this guy is a fraud. I won't say he's a fraud, but let's say he says fraudulent things, because the clear thing to see is this. I just played this. Let me go back.
Yeah.
So
he said he never met a cool passport bro, right? And I looked it up, and he said, listen to him. This is 1 year ago.
There's 2 different sides to that story. It's people that go over there to bust it down, and then there's people that I'm assuming go over there in order to really be able to experience life differently based off of what they're used to dealing with, especially with women in Western culture, right?
Does that sound like he never met a cool passport bro? People? Well, I mean, what do you think? He doesn't sound like he's talking negative about a passport bro. This is 2 years old. Let's keep it going.
I had Jay Rello, Freshest and Gary, cracked me up. Hilarious dude.
So he thought Jay Rello was a hilarious dude. He didn't say nothing about Jay Rello being, not cool. He said Jay Rello is a hilarious dude. We know how Jay Rello is. We don't think he's cool. But he, right at this date, let's see, when did he do this? let me keep it going. Here we go.
I do think that he's going to be successful. Whether he's successful in doing things the right way or the wrong way, I'm gonna leave that up to you guys to decide. But the one thing that I do want to have a conversation about is I want to get it from the other perspective, right? And Aaron, I believe that's your name, Aaron. Aaron is a person that I think can probably better represent or communicate what it means.
Does it sound like he doesn't think Aaron is cool? And don't get on Anton by himself. All of these men are like this. All of these men are fake, in my opinion. All of these men, they'll do whatever they need to do or say whatever they need to say to keep doing what they're doing. That's what pimps do.
It's to be a passport bro, which may or may not be on the other side of the spectrum from Jay Rello. Now, one of the things that I try not to do is I try not to have extensive conversations with anybody prior to bringing them on the show. That way I can actually authentically have a conversation and ask them questions. So without further ado, and his channel, the link to his channel is linked in the description.
So, like, if somebody's not cool, you don't allow them to put a link in your channel, right?
The show. I want to bring up somebody up here. Black Man Travels, Passport Bro, Aaron. I want to bring somebody up here that can probably better have a conversation to give us real insight, because it's one thing to listen to Cynthia G, right? And it's another thing.
Remember, he was dissing Cynthia G for initially saying something that you'll find out is about what he's saying now. Here.
See all of the wild, crazy stories that's happening across the internet that highlight the bad of what happens, or these dudes are dusty and all of this other type of stuff. I want to get some insight from somebody that may be able to give me a better view into what it really means to be a passport bro. What's going on, my friend? How you doing?
Did he say what's going on, my friend, or not? With a smile on his face, right? But in his new video,
he got it. Two Urkels beefing with each other.
Wait, in his new video, he's saying, let me make sure you can see it. Yep. Now you can't see the bottom there.
On experimenting.
Okay, let me go back. He, in his this 2-week-old video, says, I've never met a cool passport bro people can look up to. But Aaron, wasn't Aaron his friend? Didn't he just say, Aaron, my friend, right? Let's listen to the truth teller here.
Going from city to city, sleeping with God knows what. You think that you can find some semblance of normalcy outside of the country because it's not here in the United States of America. I got to get my passport so I can go and talk to some women. Nigga, you paying for pussy. You's a hoe. That ain't never been player. That ain't never been real.
Wait a minute. Okay, so this is what we got here. We got a little stack happening. 2 years ago, Anton Daniels talked glowingly about the passport bros. You just heard that, right? Talk shit about Cynthia G by saying, oh, she's negative about the passport bros. Now he sounds like this.
I don't know where the game is switched to where these niggas start talking about going overseas to buy box. What the fuck are we talking about? Where's the OGs at? Where's the OGs at? Where's the real ones at that said, listen, I know, look, we might be a little bit off right now. You might be going through something. Maybe you went to the coffee shop one too many times. You're a little bit liberal. Cool. We all go through that shit. We all went through it to where, you know what? I don't know who the fuck I am. You know, do I want to be a tech worker? Do I want to go and work at a coffee shop and look, you know, put on a quarter zip or some shit like that? Cool. I'm with it. Your phase is supposed to be some dumb shit. Yep. You start wearing penny loafers. You like
Okay, so first I debunked him saying that he never met a passport bro, you know, people can look up to. Because he had well, you only look up to friends, really, when you think about it, right? I just showed you, ladies and gentlemen, how two-faced men in the manosphere can be. I'm not saying that Anton is two-faced. I'm just saying, you know, men who might behave like him might be seen as being two-faced.
You like Carlton, all of a sudden morning you like Will Smith. I'm with it. I'm with it. You're going through a phase. You might have slept with a snow bunny or here or two. Yep, you discovered some trees. You got a little high a little bit. You niggas is off some other shit. Y'all on perks. Y'all fucking around with men. Y'all doing all of this dumb shit. Like, where did the masculinity go?
You sound worse than me. You sound worse than me. At least I'm specific with this shit. I'll tell you certain people. I will tell you the name of somebody and then tell you what he did or what he didn't do or whether he, you know, whatever. This dude just going off on all.
Everybody goes through phases, but you're not supposed to get so far away from your core beliefs. But the problem is that you never had any core beliefs. That's why the word of God, see, I'm gonna bring it back for you. The word of God.
And you guys worship this dude. You guys worship this dude. Let's face it, you did. Look how he dumped on you. At least you know what you're getting from me, right? I'm here to protect women from men like him and you that just want to utilize women like tools. He's trying to act like he was, you know, this is how a pimp acts, though. A pimp will act just like that. Shout out. Deontay's in the house. This is how pimps act. If he needs to bail on you because, you know, basically he feels in his own mind passport bros are not an irreparable product. Because that's all he looked. He just wanted your freaking money. I'm sorry. He just wanted your money. He wanted your support. He wanted your super chats. He wanted your likes. He wanted your subscription. He wanted your algorithm help. Oh, by the way, don't forget to hit the click the like button. I don't care if you hate me or not. Just hit the like button anyway. At least I'm keeping it real. Shit. You ain't going to see me bounce back and forth and shit like this. Again, here he is.
To see all
here he is.
Wild, crazy stories that's happening across the internet that highlight the bad of what happens, or
look, you're here. Hey, look,
Dusty
the same dude.
Type of stuff. I want to get
this is the same. This is the same dude you just saw talking shit about you dudes. And you follow him like a little puppy. At least I kept it consistent. And what's funny is this, think about it like this. When did he ever go to a Passport Bro channel and tell you guys that you could be better, you could do better? When did he ever do that shit? Whether it was Chantel's channel, whether it was Danika's channel when she was doing passport shit, or when it was Razor Ray's channel. When did he ever come over there and show you some fucking love? Right. Exactly. At least I went one-on-one with some of you. And you still snuggled up to this nigga because you guys are red pilled. That's why I understand. Listen to him.
To give me a better view into what it really means to be a passport bro. What's going on, my friend? How you doing?
I'm doing great, brother. How are you? Thanks for having me on.
I'm chilling, man. Listen, bro, I'm happy to have you. Hopefully you can give me a lot more insight than whatever it is being highlighted on TikTok and Instagram. And more importantly, YouTube. Right. I'm definitely going to be reading super chats throughout the show. Shout out to my dog Logic is in the building. Where are you currently located at, my friend?
I'm in Thailand right now. You know, retaining some of that cultural values that we initially had. So when I got to Brazil, even though they spoke Portuguese, I just was amazed by the culture. And
that was then. This is now.
Never depart with it. Put them in them young and they'll never depart from it. They got to come back to the thing that they was taught. They got to come back to whatever their destiny is that they was put in them. They got to come back to whatever it is that God have. Shit, y'all on perks. Y'all fucking around with men. Y'all doing all of this dumb shit. Like where
this is now. Now you see why I do what I do. At least I keep it fucking real. Like me or hate me. Like me or hate me. He's saying this.
Where did the masculinity go? Everybody goes through phases, but you're not supposed to get so far away from your core beliefs. But the problem is that you never had any core beliefs. That's why the word of God, see, I'm going to bring it back for you. The word of God.
And you guys give me grief. That's why I got to protect women, because y'all don't want to, number one, even in your real life. The stats show that. And you flip-flop. Tell a woman you love her. Next day, oh, who was you? Do some type of let me keep it going. Let's get back here. So I just needed to make that point. Anton, you are one piece of work, bro. We won't get to the, I'm going to save your bathwater speech for another day, because I don't think we need it. You want to say that you're the community guy and all this kind of crap. Next thing you're telling black women to be, men to throw black women out with the bathwater, with their children, by the way, and start over. Yeah, I still got that shit. This chicken under.
Let's get back to this. Okay, let's get back to this. Jay Rello. Speaking of realness, right? Because he's the realest. Come on.
See, here's the thing. I'm a person that values like integrity and like not snitching. And so hypothetically, even though I hate it and it's despicable what he's accused of, I could never really condone him snitching, getting some other people in trouble if he was the.
Wait a minute. Do you know that he snitched on his co-conspirator in an assault case? That's why he got out a little bit earlier. Only to assault a woman in Kenya, in my opinion. At least verbally assault, at the very least. But I heard some skin hitting skin, against a face in a video I reviewed.
But Jay, if you hate
what he's
Yeah,
done.
but I still I still abide by my code of no snitching, though. That still applies in this situation. I know it might not listen. If you're a regular citizen, it's not going to make sense to you. That's the thing.
It can't apply
under a different code. No snitching.
I guess he means a regular citizen, a person that doesn't have a criminal record. That might be what he's saying, because saying that you have a criminal record doesn't sound very good.
You heard me? No excuses for no snitching.
Okay, hold up. You can hold that position. Jay Rello, because there were children involved, and I
He still can't snitch. He still doesn't get a G pass to snitch. He done that time. He got to spend his own too behind that.
Now, I was made aware that Jay Rello spent time in prison for some type of sexual crime. I don't know what the charges were. If you guys are more up.
As far as we know, let me super slide. Let me clear it up. As far as we know, he was an accessory. He was the one that could have done something and told his dude to stop, but didn't, by the way. And basically, my gut feeling says, though, between you and me, Super Sly, I would not be surprised. My heart rate wouldn't increase or would be surprised if somebody told me he did something himself.
Up to speed than I, so please enlighten and educate me on what Jay Rello's crimes were that he went to prison involving some type of sexual assault.
He was an accessory officially. That's what's on the paper.
So it's going to get harder and harder for you content consumers to pick and choose when birds of a feather flock together.
Bars.
Okay?
Hey, that
it's not on us content creators. We call it how we see it. We lay it out for you guys. Now it's you people on the other side of the cameras. It's getting harder and harder for you to be like, oh, but I like him. Okay. But he hangs with that person. Okay. But
birds of a feather do flock together. So yeah, the next guy who's going to be looked at is clearly going to be Austin. I'm sorry, Austin. You spent too much time with these dudes. That's your, whether the most positive we can look at it as is that maybe you didn't go as far. But as far as what you were saying and doing and stated you did and what people said you did, you got some problems.
First it was Kevin Samuels. Then it was Andrew Tate. Now it's Austin Holloman. You say women hit the wall, but it seems as if the walls are closing in on you. You run from street block to street block, neighborhood to neighborhood, country to country, from sea to shining sea, looking for women who you say have no value, while simultaneously making memes like this go viral. Everyone you meet will come with baggage. Find someone who loves you enough to help you unpack.
Okay, right there. I got to stop it right there because there's no way to help. To me, men that are willing to date in a predatory way, you can't save them. There's nothing you can do. That's all. The best thing you can do is not give them access to you. That's the very best thing you can do. Here we go.
Now, this video takes place a year ago, but it's still interesting to watch. Watch the video.
I can cook, I can clean.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, see, this is why I came to Thailand, to find a traditional woman.
Uh-oh.
See, in the United States.
Oh.
I don't know about you, but I don't see a 14-year-old girl even being a woman. Shout out to I said what I said. Maybe I should drop the link. Yes, I should drop it soon. Here we go in a minute, folks. But that's the funny thing is he says he's looking for a traditional woman, but if you've heard his conversations, he's looking for pros. In fact, let me see if I can bring that up.
And then you asked, you been to the casino yet, boy? No, that was over there, right?
Birds of a feather. There's Jay Rello buddying up to his pal, partner in crime, maybe literally, quite possibly literally.
Yeah, you gotta go to the club. That's gonna be crazy.
We're live on YouTube, guys, with 210 people.
210?
210.
Uh-oh.
Getting there.
Two people went over. Because mine's hit. Mine's at 284 now. I was over 300 in the building. They left you to go to his. They left to go see how this stream is. All right. And now, all right.
I wanted to make sure I played this clip as proof that, you know, these dudes all know each other. These dudes all know each other. I'm going to drop the link. Here we go. Link dropping time. Link dropped. Look, they peas in a pod.
So I appreciate everybody that's been donating.
Yeah, we appreciate the donations, man, but keep them coming.
Keep it coming.
Keep them coming, bro.
Look my man Floyd up, man. Floyd, let us ourselves plug Floyd in. You hear me? Put him enough so he can at least get an Asian 6 tonight.
That's right.
So they can't even see Rello can't even say he don't know the dude now. That's why I played that, is make sure that shit is on there. Let's see what he says here.
Anybody that's insinuating that towards me without actual evidence and proof to back up what your claims are, you need to be banned from my channel. You know you have no place here at all.
Support of civil police officers from the state of...
Somebody must have substantiated a claim, because look, those aren't his friends.
Rio de Janeiro days. According to information from the child and adolescent police station.
Know about evidence. You want to talk about evidence?
Identification card. ID card? She's ID card.
ID card.
Man, why y'all hating on me, bro? Why?
Yeah, LTTV, Blunt Talk with LT, back at it with another video. All right, let's
just want to make sure he gets his props. We're going to go back right at
everything. He's talking about, oh, she has tattoos. And I'm like, do you know how many people under the age of 18 got tattoos when they were in?
Bottom line is this, especially in Brazil, if you're getting arrested for really anything, you're a bad. Oh, man, you got some issues. You really do. You got some issues. Let me play this clip from Chantel. She has something to tell you. Here we go.
Hear me out. I have a very controversial thought, and a lot of people gonna come for me, call me and pick me, like, okay, whatever. If more women were to be introduced to a brick to the face whenever they act out of pocket, less women will act out of pocket.
What?
If more women were to be introduced to a brick to the face whenever they act out of pocket, less women will act out of pocket.
Get your food! If you say one more thing, I'm gonna knock you out. Oh my God, I said one more thing, I'm gonna knock you out.
If more women were to be introduced to a brick to the face whenever they act out of pocket, less women will act out of pocket.
Is that a bottom?
We are going to begin this evening with a vicious attack.
Pause. Is that a bottom-ish move or what? She's literally condoning, while saying she doesn't condone, but she's literally condoning men to hit other women, not only with a fist, but with a BRICK.
Again, raises questions about the criminal justice system.
If more women were to be introduced to a brick to the face whenever they act out of pocket, less women will act out of pocket. But because we know that we are covered by this societal norm that men shouldn't.
And this is the funny thing. Why is she complaining about the society that she came to? You can go back where you want to. If you can go back to where you came from, if you want to. I mean, the thing is this, I love different cultures of people coming to the United States and making it the melting pot it should be. I do. But if you're going to come back, if you're going to come over here and just fuck shit up, then no, you can stay where you came from. That's my feeling. That has to do with anybody and everybody. If you're just going to come here and start doing F stuff and literally attacking women, I got a problem. You can go back. You know, maybe you can hitch a ride with Nikki.
And hit women, we feel as though we can provoke men. We can talk any kind of way. We can throw things at men. Look at Brittany Renner the other day, y'all. If this whole societal norm that men shouldn't hit women weren't around, and Brittany had thrown that water on the guy, and she knew the consequences of that would.
This woman is violent. I think I can safely say that. If she's condoning that other women, that we're in a society that protects women, that's basically what she's saying, and she doesn't like it, this was one violent act in women right here. That's crazy to me. How should I finish? I think I covered everything. Yeah, let's finish up with this.
Point of view for that. So we can't hold this man responsible for that part. It's making different decisions. So maybe that should be a different conversation to the women that are involving themselves, instead of asking him, why is he doing this? But I'm gonna let Austin go ahead and answer that question from his point of view.
So I want to say, number one, I'm not a tourist. I'm not going back to the United States. So I'm not pushing any sort of tourism. If you've watched enough of my videos, you hear me say leave the United States permanently. So I'm not encouraging men to go sleep with some gringo hunter for 5 days and then go back. So that's not even what my channel is about.
Number one, the most obvious benefit of being in Brazil dating versus the United States is women do not hesitate coming back home with you. It is unbelievably easier to get. If you're in Brazil and you have not had intercourse in a long time, I'm sorry to tell you, as a man, that's more than likely your fault. It's got to be something wrong with you. The women here do not weaponize it against you like they would in the States. Meanwhile, in the States, y'all have blue balls and y'all are over here, offing yourselves and depressed, doing school massacres. And that could all be more than likely if dudes would get what they wanted, that could be different. But sorry to tell you,
Did you hear what he said?
In Brazil, it's not a problem.
Did you hear what he said?
That's number one.
That's tourism.
Got it. Got it.
Going to my places, then I'll find somewhere to live again. Because I wanted to live in Brazil.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let me put it this way. I am not hating on passport bros. Please, I'm making that clear. I'm not. But I am and I'm not American. I'm not in the United States. I don't have that culture. I am someone outside looking at it from the outside, how this could affect other cultures, how the behavior of men traveling and just dating women, not doing anything else because they're not getting married. They're just dating women, which is fine. I'm saying
being
it's
nice. What she means is like sleeping with women and that's it.
fine. But this is spreading American culture to these other cultures. I'm just trying to protect, and just like Miss Security Boss is doing it for the American women, I want other women outside of the United States to understand that if what you really want is to get married, take care of themselves from men that come to these countries with the intention that have a good time, date, but not marry. because at the end of the day, we want to get married too. And I'm not for papers, not for none of these things. It's just what women want. And I'm not.
So basically what she's saying is that you guys are creeps. That's she's from another country. That's the vibe she's giving you. You guys are giving her.
Saying you, but remember, and that's why I ask you, it could have a positive impact or a negative. Why? Because you may have your goals clear, which I respect, but there is men out there that are listening that will interpret your words in a different way. Like there's men that are saying, oh, I think I heard you clarifying this on a video, specifically saying, oh, don't think that just because you're American, you're going to be treated as a celebrity. No, you have to work on yourself. And I think you did. And I was like, I'm glad that he's saying that, because it requires effort from you to be who you are, to be able to present yourself on other cultures, because not just because you're American, they're going to accept you.
Unfortunately, he didn't really mean it. He went on to exploit other women. That's basic. I'm sorry, bro. Come on, let's face it. That's what you did. It's a provable fact that you went and exploited other women.
It's like that. Do you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
I'm saying that.
Let me add this little piece before we go on.
Oh yeah, I definitely want you to add in your little piece. So basically what's happening is this. She's here to protect him, not women. She is here to protect Austin Holloman. And you heard the clip I played of Austin Holloman prior to this, where he was bragging about how easy Brazilian women are. And she's protecting his ideology, by the way, by doing that. But let's hear what she has to say now. Here we go.
This is it has been Passport Bros, I think we said, since 1960. Well before both of y'all will even thought about.
Actually, no. Men traveled, but there was never, ever, ever, ever a Passport Bro movement. This is 10 years old, maybe 10 years old.
Nothing new for a young woman from another country to date an American man. So it's not like it's a new project. But we are seeing it now because of the access, meaning YouTube and, Instagram and things of that nature. So they're letting us into their life. But if you really got a message for your women that you want them to preserve themselves and, be careful with that, we got to talk to the women. Men are going to be men. They're going to do what they want to do. So we really do have to talk to the men. And he's going to tell you again, too, I know. But as far as his situation in Brazil, it seems like it was made up.
Number one, the most obvious benefit of being in Brazil dating versus the United States is women do not hesitate coming back home with you. It is unbelievably easier.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, let's hit the beat. Thank you for coming through. Here we go.
Round and round it goes. Love goes around. Oh. DJ Torch. And friends.
All right.
It's about to go down.
In the house. Angela Reddick. Natural under pressure. I said what I said. Deontay.
Voices are warm, the vibe is clear.
It's Alto. New Dawn for you.
DJ Torch and friends, it's about to go down. It's about to go down. Yeah. Laughter and truth.
Miss RV.
Hearts open wide when the love goes round. About to go.
Mimi. Henry Mars. Indiana Mom.
And if someone makes up something on you that is negative, then that's what it is. It's negative. So he's got to fight that. You know, he can't just embrace it and be like, this is what happened. He's going to fight that. And then hopefully the whole message of who he is will be turned around and they'll see exactly the kind of man that he is.
Yeah, they found out what kind of man he was. Oh yeah, he said this.
Passport bros, a good majority of them are selling you guys a fake dream. And you guys can see that from my channel, right? That's why a lot of them choose to, we're gonna get into this later, but they choose to discredit me because I get online. Passport bros, a good majority of them are selling you guys a fake dream. And you guys can, bros, a good majority of them are selling you guys a fake dream. Passport bros, a good majority of them are selling you guys a fake dream. And you guys can see that from my channel, right? That's why a lot of them choose to, we're going to get into this later, but they choose to discredit me because I get online and I can show you in real time what it's like in these other countries. So for bros, a good majority of them are selling you guys a fake dream. And you guys can see that from my channel, right? That's why a lot of them choose to, we're going to get into this later, but they choose to discredit me because I get online and I can show you in real time what it's like in these other countries. So people might sell Sao Paulo a certain type of way, but I get on live and there's a chick argue with me that I didn't even talk to, but they're all so feminine in certain cities. It's so perfect in Sao Paulo. None of these places are perfect. Bros, a good majority of them, passport bros, a good majority of them are selling you guys a fake dream. And you guys can see that from my channel, right?
Not going back to
is
Hunter for 5.
Number one, the most obvious benefit of being in Brazil dating versus the United States is women do not hesitate coming back home with you. It is unbelievably easier to get. There's passport bros, a good majority of them are selling you guys a fake dream. And you guys can see that from my channel, right? That's why a lot of them choose to, we're going to get into this later, but they choose to discredit me because I get online and I can show you in real time what it's like in these other countries. So
I think I made my point. I thought I'd do a little DJ mix at the end there, you know, a little Austin Holloman mix, passport bros, you know. You know, y'all, he's calling you fake now after he pretends he's not a passport bro, when we all know he's a passport bro. We know he's a passport bro. Let's take it into church now. Passport bros. No, let me stop. Anyway, yeah. So I showed you that in the red pill community, which includes the passport bros and the black manosphere, that basically they're going to say whatever they want to say. You saw Anton literally contradict himself, and I just showed you Austin contradicting himself. I don't know what to say, you know? And, well, let me play that jam one more time. Here we go. Now, I think I am done. I think I'm done. Now, let me see.
people might sell Sao Paulo a certain type of way, but I get on live and there's a chick argue with me that I didn't even talk to, but they're all so feminine in certain cities.
And friends.
Thanks again, everybody.
Here
Ladies, I got to show you how they peeping their game.
Families here, voices are warm, the vibe is clear. Love goes around. Ooh, DJ Torch and friends, it's about to go down. It's about to go down. Yeah, laughter and truth, a gentle sound.
Good idea.
When the love goes round.
Hit the like on the way out.
DJ Torch and friends, it's about to go down.
Music by Ghost.
Love goes around, it lifts, it flows. Love goes around and everybody knows.
Black Natural.
Goes around from me to you. Love goes around, it always comes through. Yeah, yeah. Love goes around. We share, we laugh, we grow.
Shout out to Pretty Black Misha. Y'all check out her channel. And my friend, I said what I said. If you love the politics, you like to get your politicking on, you got to check out her channel.
That's our cue. It's not a party without you, without you, without you, without you.
Deontay, I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you, everybody. See you on the next one.